All right. Hello, everyone. We've made it to almost the end of day one. I know everybody's excited that it's finally time for DrupalCon Europe and you've had a great day today. Our friends at Quony asked me to walk through a few things with you, and then we have a very special treat, as you know, with Marta, and I got to see some moves in the backstage area here, and I think you're going to really enjoy it. And um, I've been challenged to do a few moves on camera too. So if I see some of you that I know do it, I will do it with you. So that is my challenge to you. All right. So I do want to share a few slides to get us going here in just a moment. All right. Is everyone having fun? I know there's a chat feature, so everyone can chat and have fun and play along as well. At the end of sessions, make sure to let us know how things are going. And of course, we're seeing a lot of great chatter on Twitter. So make sure that you're using the social media tags so that we can see all the things that you're doing. Now, none of this happens without volunteers. So we have to thank volunteers first and foremost today. You're going to recognize a lot of these faces. They've helped with DrupalCon Europe before. They're very active in the community, and we thank them so much for giving all of their time and energy to make this happen. I believe most of you are also on the Zoom call right now, so hopefully you will do a little bit of dancing with us as well to celebrate the successful launch of DrupalCon Europe. We've also got the track chair leads, the track team, and of course our volunteer committee. It takes a lot of people to make this happen. And we know that this is a really important way that you contribute to the Drupal project and the Drupal community. And we thank you very much for your time and your talent. So speaking of time and talent, we also have treasure, and that's where our sponsors come in. So we can't have DrupalCon without the sponsors that make it affordable for attendees and that allow us to continue this every year. So thank you very much to all of the sponsors who signed up for DrupalCon Europe 2020. And if you'd like to do it again, I'm sure the team will take your contract and your investment immediately following this conference. But we really appreciate everybody that stepped in to help make this happen. Speaking of thank you, and I get to see some of my Quony friends here on the screen as well. Thank you, Quony. Quony actually allowed us to bring DrupalCon Europe back last year. And so we had an experiment with a partnership and it went really well. And we really value that they allow this to happen and they make this happen. None of us planned to do this virtually this year. So I really appreciate the Quony team for figuring things out, for making this work. They could have said, no, we'll see you next year, but they put in a lot of time and a lot of work to make sure we could do this virtually. So thank you, Quony. And I hope we get to do it again, but all in the same room. And that is what we all cross fingers for next year. So a few reminders. The code of conduct. Obviously, DrupalCon is dedicated to providing a safe and welcoming, inclusive, harassment-free environment. But should you experience any issues, we want to make sure that you have a way to reach out to us so we can help you resolve those. So if anything is unusual or you have anything to report, you can reach us at conduct@association.drupal.org. Okay, group photo time. Don't forget to join for the group photo. Raise your hand on Zoom if you have taken your selfie in the photo booth. Okay, now how many of you have posted it online? So here's a little backstage in the photo booth action for those of you who haven't tried it yet. I gave it a whirl yesterday. So make sure to take your selfie and to not only share it on social media, but also upload it with our friends on celebratedrupal.org, where we're currently celebrating DrupalCon Europe. So we know that contribution is really important, and we want there to be an increased focus on contribution at not only DrupalCon events, but other events around the world. You have the opportunity for daily contribution in addition to the mentored contribution that's happening on Friday. Now, when you go into the contribution room, you may be hesitant to click the button because you think you're going to be joined live with a person that you don't know immediately. What's really going to happen is you're going to get a link to see all the contribution topics, And then from there, you can decide where you'd like to contribute. So don't be afraid to press the virtual button, get in there and find a topic that's meaningful to you and start contributing with us. And if you've not contributed with Drupal before, there's a first time contributor workshop happening on Friday. If for some reason that timing doesn't work well for you, there's also a video on demand in the contribution booth in the exhibit hall. Okay, now here's the part you've all been waiting for. Marta is going to guide us through an official flamenco dancing session. So this is the perfect way to celebrate the end of day one and to celebrate all the things to come for the rest of our week here at DrupalCon Europe. So Marta, I'm very excited to learn from you. I know that everyone on the call is going to stand up and participate and have fun. I told Frank I haven't had cocktails yet to really get into the spirit because it's only lunchtime in Atlanta. But Quoni insisted that I start early, so that may have to happen. So everybody grab something fun, grab a drink, grab a friend, and let's start some flamenco.
Okay, hi everyone. So I'm Marta. I'm a flamenco dancer. I've been dancing for 20 years. And I mean, today is going to be a very short session, but I really want to give you a little bit of information, a little bit of an introduction to what flamenco is. I mean, it's a very, very complex art form, but I want to give you a little taster. So if you've seen the video that I posted, first I'll just give you a little introduction to what it is and then we'll get moving. Okay, I have been challenged to get as many of you moving as possible. So hopefully I can see some of you following along. But of course, if you just want to watch, then that's fine. So flamenco is an art form which is a big mix of cultural influences. It has a mix coming in from India, Arab music, and it's all very folkloric. It all was created amongst the gypsy community. So lots of on the streets kind of communication between one family and the next, or one town and the next. And what that's created is that every town and region in Spain, mainly the south of Spain, which is where flamenco is mostly danced, although now it's international really, but each region has its own sort of style. And I think that's one of the very, very interesting parts of flamenco, that it's incredibly personal and it's very expressive, and every person can dance really however they want. So I think it's, if you compare it with other dance forms such as ballet, it's got its technical side as well. But it's also, as I say, a very expressive dance. It doesn't have an age limit. It doesn't have any limits, really. I mean, you can find a very elderly person dancing flamenco incredibly, and it can be incredibly emotional as well. So within flamenco, there's lots of different components. I mean, today we'll be focusing on the dance component, since I'm a dancer and a very, very bad singer, so I won't be singing. But obviously flamenco has the singing part, which even if you don't understand the language, you can understand the power that it has. But if you did understand the language, a lot of the songs are telling really sort of daily life struggles or joys or anything. There's all sorts of lyrics and all sorts of stories that they tell. And also, similarly to maybe Indian music, from what I know, there's different styles within flamenco. So for example, you have something called soleá, which comes from the word solitude. And then if you compare that with the style called alegría, which means joys, they're going to be talking about very different things. One will be talking about the sun and the beach and the sea and beautiful things, whereas solitude expresses a very powerful sadness. So that's also, I mean, it's a very rich sort of art form. So that's mainly the song aspect. We have a singer, we have a guitarist, we have the percussion side and we have dance. So when you watch a flamenco show, I don't know if you've just watched the video now, but all these components come together and there's a lot of communication between the different components. So unlike other dance forms, we very rarely dance to recorded music. Of course, I mean, today we'll be dancing to recorded music, but if you watch it on stage, it's always going to be live music and it's always going to be improvised. So within the sort of rules or structure that we all study over years and years of training, there's always a communication and there's always a almost like a respect between the different components. So within a piece of dance or whatever, each person has their moment to be the protagonist. And in that moment, if I'm, as the dancer, I'm going to listen to the singer and see what he's telling me or she's telling me, or I'm going to respond to what they're saying to me and reflect it in my dance. So I think that's something that's really interesting in flamenco. And I think that when you watch it, you have to understand that aspect of it, because it's something that makes it very unique in comparison to other dance forms. So now if we focus on the dance aspect, there are some key also components to the dance. One thing that's very almost it's very a classical image of flamenco is the hands, and our hands can be moved in lots of different ways. I'll be explaining a couple of them later, also to express different things. So we have the hands, we have our arms, we have our feet, which I'll be showing a little bit of today. And we also have lots of percussive movements on our body. So we can do lots of things on our body. It's a very rich language that we have within the dance aspect. So today, in our very short session, I want to show you a little bit how we move our hands and a thing called a remate. So a remate is one of these codes that we use in flamenco, which responds to the singing. Okay, so it's a little detail that we use, almost like a punctuation mark in our writing. It's something that gives it an accent and responds to what the music is telling us. So I'll show you a very simple one and we'll get moving our hands and our arms, okay? So you can sit down or you can stand up with me for this part. So first of all, our hands, if we put our hands in front of us like this, what we're trying to do is to separate every finger, okay? So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, and turn the hand. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and turn. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and turn. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and turn. That's it. And 1, 2, 3, 4, turn. And 1, 2, 3, 4, turn. Good. And 1, 2, 3, 4, turn. And 1, 2, 3, 4, turn. Perfect. Let's try the other hand. The same thing. We're going to go little finger, second, third, fourth, and turn. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 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 turn. Great. So now let's try putting both of them together. We're going to go in, 2, 3, 4, turn. And 1, 2, 3, 4, turn. And 1, 2, 3, 4, turn. And 1, 2, 3, 4, turn. Great. I think I'm winning this bet. I've been challenged to get as many of you moving, and I think I'm managing it. So, with our hands, we have two ways of moving them. We can move them in, or we can move them out. Okay? So when we move them in, it's like we're drawing something in towards us. So we're grabbing something and bringing it in. And when we go out, our palms start facing outwards, and we go 1, 2, 3, 4, and we turn them in. So we go in, round, and out. Round, and in, round, and out. Round, and 1, in, 2, out, and 1, in, and 2, out, and 1, in, turn, out, and in, and out, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and out, and in, and out. That's it, okay? Good? If you give me a thumbs up, I can see that you're more or less following along. Great. So now, once we have our hands moving, these arms have to start moving as well, okay? So if we start with our arms up here, in flamenco, like in other forms of dance, we're going to be circling our face, okay? So from the top, we go round and up, and round and up, and round and up, and round and up, and 1, 2, 3, 4, up, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 1, and up, and round, up. Good. Okay, so now when we go out with the arm, we're going to go out with our hand. And when we come in with the arm, we're going to go in with the hand. So it would be like this. Out with the hand and the arm, up with the hand and the arm. And 1, and up, and out, and in, and out, and in, and out, and in, and 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1, 2, and we go out and in, and out and in, and out and in, and out and in. Okay, so now with this, we're going to try changing the time. So we've tried the two different movements of the hands and the arms. Now we'll change the time. Okay, so we're going to go 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1, 2, and then we do 1, up, 1, up, 1, up, 1, up. And again, slowly and up, and down, and up, and down, and up, and down, and up. And double we do 1, up, 2, up, 3, up, 4, up, and 1, and up, and 2, and up, 3, up, and 4, up, and one more time, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Good. Your arms get tired after a while. Okay, so what we've just done are the arms to a marking step, okay? A marking step, or in Spanish, marcaje, is what we do when we're just listening to the music. So I listen, I don't want to disturb, and all I do is decorate it, okay? So now that we've got the arms, we're going to put the legs in, the feet, okay? So very, very simple. We're going to do, when our right arm comes out, our right leg comes out. We do out and in, and out and in, and out and in, and out and in, and 1, in, and 2, in, and 3, in, and 4, in. We go out with the right, in with the right, out with the left, in, and 1, in, and 2, in, and 1, in, and 2, in, and 1, in, and 2, in, and out, in, and 2, in. Okay? So now we're going to join the two. I'll show you how it would be. If we have our arms up, we're going to go out with the right leg and out with the right arm, and in, and out, and in, and out, and in, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and out, and up, and out, and up, and out, and up, and out, and up. Good. And 1, in, and 2, in, and 3, in, and 4, in. Okay? So this is a very simple marking step that we always use in flamenco, and we can change the rhythm because flamenco has lots of different rhythms. It can be in a 4/4, it can have 12 beats, it can have 5, and this marking step, we use it a lot in all different rhythms. Okay, so now I'm going to show you another version. We're going to do the same thing with our legs, but with our arms we're going to keep them down, close to our bodies. Okay, so the arms are going to go out and in, and out and and in, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, into the hip, and out, and in, and out, and in, and 1, we look to the right, and 2, we look to the left, and 1, and center, and 2, and center, and out, and in, and 2, in, and out, in, 2, in. Should we try it with the legs? Yeah? So, let me put this down. The same thing with our legs. We're going to go out and center, and out and center, and out and center, and out and center, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And our head looks right and center, and left and center. Our chin's up high and center, and left and center. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, center, and 3, center, and 4, center. Okay? So now we're going to join the two. Flamenco is actually very simple. You just join everything up. We go out, and up, and out, and up, and 3, up, and 4. Now we're going to bring the arms down, and right, and in, and 2, and in, and 3, in, and 4. We bring the arms up, and 1, in, and 2, in, and 3, in, and 4. Arms down, and 1, in, and head, in, and 3, and 4. We go up, and 1, up, and 2, up, and 3, up, and 4. One more time, we go out, and center, and 2, and center, and 3, center, and 4, arms up, and 1, up, 2, up, 3, up, and 4, up. Okay? Good. So now, like I said before, we use a lot of percussion with our hands in flamenco. So a very simple one, we're going to go 1, 2. This can be here on your legs or here on your belly. Okay, we go ba, 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 and ba, 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 and ba, 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 and ba, ba, ba. Okay, so it would be ba, 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 1, 2, and ba, 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 1, 2, and ba, 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 1, 2, and ba, ba, ba. Let's try on our chest. We go 1 and 2, ba, ba, and 1 and 2, ba, ba, 1 and 2, ba, ba, and 1 and 2, ba, ba. And on our legs, ba, ba, and 1 we can't dance as if we're afraid of anything, okay? We have to dance like with strength, okay? So this we can do much bigger. We're gonna go 1, ba, ba, e. 1, ba, ba, e. 1, ba, ba, e. 1, ba, ba, e. And the same on our legs. Ba, ba, e. 1, ba, ba, e. 1, ba, ba, e. Okay? Good. So let's incorporate it. We're going to do 4 of the first marking, 4 of the second marking, and this step, and then I'll finish it. Okay? So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Arms down first. We do 1, in, and 2, in, and 3, in, and 4, arms up, and 1, in, and 2, in, and 3, in, and 4, in, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Stop, stop. That's it. Our feet just go 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1, 2. And our arms grab something and put it down. We go and and if you notice, my head goes opposite to my arms. My arms go up, and when they come down, my head comes up. That's it. We go and one more time. Good. So with the percussion step, it would be ba, 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 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, we go 1, ba, ba, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, we go 1, ba, ba, 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. One more time. And ba, 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 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's do the same thing on our chest. Okay? When we do the percussion on our chest, we do it higher up. We don't want to hurt ourselves. Okay? Up here. We do ba, 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 1, 2, up, ba. And 1, ba, ba, 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, ba, ba, 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time, and ba, 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 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. We need that attitude at the end. We go down and that's it. Okay? Flamenco with no strength is not flamenco. Okay, so let's join it all up. We're going to do 4 of the first ones with our arms down, 4 of the second ones with our arms up, and then the remate. Pa, 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 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and if we do that, then we're going to repeat it one more time. Okay, so we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, and out, and in, and 2, and and in, and 4. Arms up, and 1, and in, and 2, and in, and 3, and in, and 4. Remate, and back, back, back. 1, 2, 3, 4. And good. We wait for 2, 3, 4. And 1, and in, and 2, and in, and 3, and in, and 4. Arms up, and out, and in, and 2, and in, and 3, up, and 4. Remate, and back, back, back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do it one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. We go. 1, in, and 2, in, and head, center, and head, arms up, and 1, up, and 2, up, and 3, up, and 4, up, remate, back, back, back. 1, 2. Good. Very good. I could see you all dancing. Okay, are there any questions for that part? No? If you want to ask any questions, you can message on the chat or you can just ask. Okay? So now I'm going to put some music on and I'm going to do a little demonstration of a dance. Okay, so what I'm going to dance is called Solea por Bulerías. And so what we've just done was a 4x4 rhythm called tangos, which went 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 4. Okay, but in flamenco, we also have the 12 beat rhythm, which is 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? That's the very typical, also in flamenco, 12 beat bars. So now, Solea por Bulería has the 12 beat compás, it's called the bars. So if you listen to the music, you might be able to pick up this rhythm. Okay, I hope you enjoy.
Marta, can you put the camera a little bit down? Just like the screen. Thank you.
One evening.
So that's a little bit of soleaburullerias. And I hope you saw some of the marking steps that we've just done, how they get incorporated. Now I'm going to show you a little bit of just the feet. Okay, so a lot of times you don't get to focus simply on the feet, so I'm going to put the camera down so you can watch my feet, how they do the different techniques, okay? Thank you very much. Okay, so there we had a little short demonstration of the feet. If you want, I'm going to explain a little bit about the different ways that we can use the feet. Okay, so in our feet we have the, I'm out of breath. We have the the planta, which would be just the sole of the foot, and we have the heel. Okay, so for you to see that a bit better, you can try with me as well. In our feet, we have planta and tacón, the heel. Planta, tacón. 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 We can also use the heel like this. So we can do. Where we mix the two heels. One out, one under. Out, under. Out, under. Out, under. Okay, that would be the heels. Then we have the planta. We can go. Okay, this sort of way of moving our feet actually comes from the influence of tap dance. You can really see the similarities, okay? So then we mix all of that up and we have lots of different ways of moving our feet. So I really hope that little session gave you a little idea of what flamenco is, where it comes from, and all the little, how rich it is and how important it is to see it in a more in-depth way. Because I know flamenco is very visually pleasing. You see lots of spots and lots of flowers and lots of colors, but really once you get to understand it and see how, I mean, just the simple fact that the dancers are improvising and the musicians are improvising is so interesting to see. Once you understand that aspect of it, you can understand it in a completely different way. Do we have time for another little, very short one, if you want?
Yes, go ahead, Marta, go ahead. We love it.
Just for you to know, all of us can unmute so we can give her a big applause when she is over.